Hello everyone, my name is Brett Murphy and I will be your host for Rec Hub Sports News. In this video, I'll be breaking down everything you need to know from the week of May 25th in the Rec Hub Society Floor Hockey League. First, let's look at some notable games that took place on Sunday the 25th and Tuesday the 27th. If you're interested in checking out Tuesday's games yourself, Rogers was on location at Center 200 once again, and they are now available on the Rec Hub Society YouTube channel. On Sunday the 25th, the Black Rock Bulls continue to fight their way up the rankings, with two important wins, taking down the Northside Chiefs 5-2 and the Raiders 6-1. The Sailors managed to drum up two ties, but not without some controversy, which is seemingly par for the course with this team. A hole in the net caused some scoring discrepancies in their 4-4 tie versus the Northside Chiefs, which came just after their close 2-2 tie with the Raiders. After having a big week during the 18th and 20th games, the Purple Cobras dropped two games on Sunday, losing 4-3 to the Royal Huskies and 5-3 to the Floor Hogs. Unsurprisingly, the Rusty Pigeons and Floor Hogs both picked up 2 wins each, further adding to their leads at the top of the leaderboards. Alright, moving on to the games that took place on Tuesday the 27th at Center 200, which I would like to remind you are available to watch on the Rec Hub Society YouTube channel. The Rusty Pigeons kicked off the evening with two giant ass whoopings, beating the Sailors and Sunnyvale Superstars by a combined score of 31-5. The Purple Cobras bounced back after a rough Sunday with a huge win over the Northside Chiefs and a hard-fought tie with the Black Rock Bulls. The Floor Hogs went 1-0-1 by also tying the Black Rock Bulls and then defeating the team that's hot on their heels, the Raiders. Rarely are you going to have a night in this league without a bit of controversy, as one of the final games of the night between the Royal Huskies and the Sunnyvale Superstars saw tensions rising following a potential high-stick hat-trick goal, which led to a celebration the Huskies didn't appreciate. But they still managed to hang on in the final minutes to secure the win. The Cape Breton Seagulls had a big night on Tuesday as they continue to try pushing their way up the leaderboard, with victories over the Sailors and the Velociraptors. Now let's switch over to the current standings before we head into the top point getters and this upcoming week's games. After this week's games, the standings remain mostly the same from the previous week. The Rusty Pigeons remain in first place, with the Floor Hogs in second and the Raiders in third. The Black Rock Bulls stayed in fourth place but closed the gap between themselves and the third placed Raiders. The Northside Chiefs broke the tie with the Sailors and are now the sole holders of fifth place. The Sailors can't seem to stay away from ties though, as they not only have the most ties in the league right now, but are also tied for sixth place with the Purple Cobras. The Sunnyvale Superstars, Royal Huskies, and Cape Breton Seagulls stayed where they were, but now there's only 4 points separating the 3 teams. One key item you might have noted is a brand new team sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard who have yet to play a game: the newly introduced Rampage, who will make their debut next week. This is also a good time to note that the Rec Hub Society Floor Hockey League is always welcoming new teams to join the fold. Simply reach out on Facebook with your roster and team name and let those who run the show handle the rest from there. Just like last week, let's dive into some of the stats before we close things out. Josh McCaskill skyrocketed to a staggering 150 points, making him the clear number 1 in the league. The next closest to him is his Rusty Pigeons teammate Jordan Moss with 116 points, with Sam Gillis remaining in third with 100. Beyond Stevie Clark of the Northside Chiefs sitting in 6th place with 80 points, the rest of the top 10 is dominated by the Rusty Pigeons and Floor Hogs. When it comes to the goal leaders, for the first time probably ever, Josh McCaskill is not in first place and has been dethroned by his own teammate Jordan Moss, who now has a 6-goal lead. But the next closest behind them, Sam Gillis, is still 20 goals behind. Stevie Clark, Colin Kelly, and Scott McGinnis are the only non-Pigeon or Floor Hog players to make this list. As for assists, Josh McCaskill reclaims his crown with a stunning 82 assists. He's followed by Sam Gillis with 53 and Ben Gillis with 48. The only others that aren't Pigeons or Floor Hogs are once again Stevie Clark of the Northside Chiefs and Cole Pygel of the Blackrock Bulls. Now here's a quick glance at the updated goaltending stats. If you'd like to comb through these in more depth or see the stats for every other player in the league, you can visit the Rec Hub Society Floor Hockey League's Facebook page. Alright, let's close things out by taking a look at some of the matchups ahead of us for the week of June 1st. The Rampage will debut two daunting tasks by going head-to-head with the Rusty Pigeons and Purple Cobras. The Sailors will take this week to try and reclaim their 5th place spot, and will start things off on Sunday against the Velociraptors and the Floor Hogs. While Sunnyvale, the Royal Huskies, and the Seagulls start their week fighting over the 4 points that separate them, when Sunnyvale takes on the Blackrock Bulls and the Raiders. The Huskies will take on the Northside Chiefs and Blackrock Bulls, and finally for Sunday, the Seagulls go toe-to-toe with the Floor Hogs and Purple Cobras. Let's jump over to the game set to take place on Tuesday, June 3rd. The Rampage kick things off again with a pair of tough games against the Floor Hogs and the Sunnyvale Superstars. The Blackrock Bulls will try to further close the gap between, if not overtake, the Raiders, when they take on the Velociraptors and the Sailors. The Raiders, on the other hand, will try to maintain their lead in the standings when they go against the Northside Chiefs and Rusty Pigeons. The night will round out with another bout between the Royal Huskies and the Sailors, who have had some incredibly close games, including a tie in their previous matchups. And that wraps us up for this week's Rec Hub Society Floor Hockey League recap. Don't forget to follow the Rec Hub Society on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube channel where recorded games will be uploaded and recaps just like this one can be seen.